Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, I think we've done this before, so you kind of know how it works. But I like to remind people this is non exact science. Sometimes you're going to have to stretch it outside the box a little bit. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, we communicate the best way we can. So just something doesn't make sense, just keep it in mind because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later. So we're going to talk to Grandma Ruth. Get my notes out here. Boy, she comes in a strutting, not mad strut, just like kind of like with purpose. If I want to say it, I don't know if I want to say it that way. Just like when she showed up somewhere, you knew she was there. And she says, I wasn't quiet about it. She says, I definitely was not a wallflower. I did not keep quiet in the corner. I think she's trying to validate it's her. I ask him to give me at least a couple of things so you know for sure we're talking to the loved one you want to talk to. It is a little bit harder to get the exact one that you want, which is why I require a picture so I make sure that's who's here. Know yourself, love yourself, be confident with yourself. Don't let none of them people out there try to make you be something you're not. She says, damn it, don't let them squash you down. Damn it, don't let them do that to you. Don't allow people to try to turn you into something that they want and not what you want. You be you. They will love you just the way you are. And if they don't, piss on them. Now she's doing some kind of little happy dance. I don't know if she's trying to show you that she's just fine as far as physically. We don't have this heavy body anymore. This is just our little vehicle to run around here on earth. Our soul, our spirit is in it. It's kind of like our little car. And when we go back up there, we don't need it anymore. And it just weighs us down. It just keeps us in the gravity, so to speak. She says, I don't need that shit anymore. But don't let somebody else make you feel heavier than you should feel. And I don't think she's talking about, well, she's not talking about physically. Is there somebody that's like tongue lashing you? Let's call it that. Because she's showing you kind of going like this, and I don't feel like somebody's physically going to hit you. Maybe she is showing that. But it's more like somebody's always got those words that you just want to go back up. You're in my space. It's like it's making you cower down. You're trying to guard yourself from it. Somebody's belittling you. And it could be just the person in the grocery store. It doesn't have to be like a family member. It doesn't have to be this big whopping thing. Just something that's making you feel like, back up, you're in my space. You're pushing on me. You're pushing me down. But it's more like it's pushing you down. It's not pushing you. She's making a big deal out of showing it that way. And believe me, they know best what we need to hear. So go to YouTube, learn how to put a protection bubble around you. I always forget to do it myself. You'd think I would know better. It's free. There's hundreds of videos to learn how to put this protection bubble around you. And that way, when somebody does that, they hit your bubble, but they can't get into your energy. I know it sounds strange, especially, if you don't know any woo-woo stuff, but it honestly, it keeps their energy from pushing on you so much. Sometimes I'll actually put a brick wall or something between me, steel wall, any kind of wall, but they can still get around the wall. Anyway, she's making a big deal out of me telling you this. Tapping. Somebody's tapping. I feel like it's the same person. Like tapping on your bubble, like trying to get in your head, get in your psyche, do it my way. I hear do it my way, do it my way, do it my way. So whoever this is, and it could be more than one person, and it could be just a boss. It could be somebody telling you you put the trash can in the wrong place. It doesn't have to be a big deal. But whoever this is, it makes you kind of want to back up from their energy and push them away and get out from under them. Get that bubble, get that wall. Right. And I had people that did this to me every single day. And there's bubbles that you can use. Your whole body goes in this bubble. And it just keeps your energy in, protects your energy, keeps theirs. Doesn't mean you don't interact with them, doesn't mean you don't talk to them. Just means your energy, your spirit is safe from their crap. And you can put like mirrors on it and bounce that energy back to them if somebody's being hateful. But I always tell people, don't do that. They've got enough hate in them. I had a couple that used to do it to me every single day. It's like, you guys are so full of hate towards me and towards other people that I really don't want to give it back to you. So I'd send them love. I don't know why she's wanting me to explain this. So maybe there's somebody like that bothering you. I send them love. Did not use the mirror, maybe once or twice, because they wouldn't quit. Because you know how you can just feel daggers coming at you, even when they're sitting where you can't see them, sitting behind you. I could just feel those daggers coming. Enough is enough. You're wearing me out. But guess what? It took me months, but they don't do it anymore. They ignore me when they see me. It finally worked. So whoever or whatever this is, start trying to use this. Grandma says, bet you didn't know I knew things like that. Say it again. Bet you didn't know I knew about things like that. She's being kind of cocky about it, and smiling. You'd be surprised what I've learned. She had her hands on her hips, kind of wiggling. Okay, I just felt somebody like take my hair. Well, it's back here, but I'll show up here. Like flip it. That's what it felt like. It literally a little spot just flipped up. So no, that'll be a sign from her. They usually don't want to do anything scary. So when she does something like that, validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more signs from her if you want them. That's totally up to you. That's your free will choice. She's cooking. She's cooking. See, I got ready to do this. All of a sudden, I felt like writing down meatball subs. with cheese on them. Meatball subs, which I feel like, okay, that'd be something good that I can take camping. I can fix over camping, something different. So I don't know if she used to make meatball subs, love meatball subs. She just mentioned meatballs again. Could be just big old fat meatballs with your spaghetti. She's making me think I used to make those big fat meatballs and homemade spaghetti sauce that you had to cook all day long with sausages cut up, Italian sausage and stuff cut up in it, which I haven't done in forever. She says I need to do that. Yeah, I don't have time right now. So maybe she used to do this. Maybe you've done this. Maybe you're thinking about doing it. I'm not sure where she's going with the meatballs. She says, Grandpa, he's just sitting over there in the chair, just sitting on his butt. Going through a magazine, going through a book. First, I heard Time Life magazine. I don't think they even make those anymore. Time Life magazine and TV Guide. We used to get the TV Guide books were about this freaking thick. And I think, were they a week's worth or month's worth? I don't know, but they were fat little books. That would be back in the day. Probably back in their day. That they would have still had those TV Guide books. So he could have always had one sitting by his chair. I'm not sure where he's going. He's trying to validate that it's him. She said he's just sitting over there. He wants to watch TV. And she's up and bouncing around and dancing. It's like, come on, let's go do something. And she's showing happy feet. When they show the happy feet, it's like they want you to know they're perfectly healthy, if you want to call it that, because we don't have this freaking old body that falls apart anymore, which is a good thing. We're back to our pure soul, pure spirit. She says something about a horse and a cat. A very uppity cat. Like it's like walking along and its tail straight up in the air, and it's like, no, I don't want you messing with me, but that's a cat. No, not my cat. My cat's always bothering the shit out of me. And she's not saying any more about the horse and a cat. So I don't know. Did they used to have a horse and a cat? I don't know where she's going with it. Sometimes they are a little vague. It's her show. She can do what she wants within reason. Now, I'm not sure what she's talking about, but she says, so who told you that you have to do your hair a certain way? Who said that? And why? And why are you even listening to that? Do it the way you want. Because you're beautiful no matter how you do it, and it's none of their damn business. And I don't think she's just talking about somebody telling you how to do your hair. It's more like somebody telling you how to do anything. Just, I don't know if she's using hair for an example or somebody actually said something about your hair like that. But okay, she's showing expanded. So it's about, it could be somebody said that exact thing about your hair, but also it applies to everything. Don't let them do that to you. You tell them to back off. You know best what you feel like you need to do. It's in your heart and soul. Okay, she's showing me ants. Do you have ants in your house or something? She's showing me a big black ant. Or you recently had a big black ant on you, or you might have one on you before the day's out or before the week's out. She just shown me one. So I don't know if it's actually a big black ant or if she's just showing it that way so I'll make sure and see that it's an ant. She could be exaggerating it. Have you ever thought about getting Reiki or doing Reiki, or do you know what Reiki is? Reiki. She's mentioning something about Reiki. I personally love it. Had it from multiple people. Some think that they're doing it, but they're really not. But the lady I go to, wow, you can't mistake that she's doing it. And works with the angels, archangels. So I don't know if she's wanting you to get it. She says sometimes you got to go through a few toads to find the prince. So she's not talking about you finding a guy. She's talking about you might have to go through a few Reiki healers. Mine's a Reiki master teacher. Nobody else is compared to her. So you might have to go through a few of them. Or whether she wants you to learn it. I'm not sure. Or maybe you know how to do it. She says it's something that should be taken very seriously because it does affect your energy. Oh, she's reminding me. So she says, do be careful if you do this. There's one girl, I let her mess with my energy when she was trying to learn something, and she totally messed me up. It is possible. Totally messed me up. She would do her thing on me, and I would call it the hangover effect. The next morning I would get up and I would be almost suicidal. It's like, what'd you do to me? What are you doing to my energy? You are totally messing me up. Make it quit. And I don't know why she's, whether you've had an experience like that. And then I'd let her do it again. Because she was learning and I was trying to learn. So I was her guinea pig. I call myself a guinea pig. She really messed me up multiple times until I was smart enough to not let her do it anymore. So I'm not sure where she's going with this. She says expand on it. I don't want to spend reading expanding on this. She says expand on it, and then well, this girl lived back east. I live in the Midwest. She lived on the East Coast. I don't know what that's got to do with it, whether you've been through the same thing or what she's doing, or I don't know where you live. Hope you don't know her. Anyway, be very careful. Some people that do that kind of work have an ulterior motive. That's what this girl had. Ulterior motive. And it almost took me down. And this has been a few years ago. And I don't even think about it anymore. So anyway, she says be careful. But do it. Just keep that in mind. They know best. And I'm just her voice right now. So anything she says within reason. Okay, so now they make me itch. Sorry. It's almost like she's the caretaker of the homeless cats that have gone to heaven. Even if she hated cats when she was here, this is what she's showing that she's doing now. Again, I felt my hair go boop. So this spiky stuff, if a fly lands on it, I can feel it. I can just feel it go whoop. So you'll feel that. It's like she's taking her arms and she's just scooping them all up with so much love. So even if she hated cats here, it doesn't matter. She's talking about homeless cats, homeless stray cats. So evidently that's part of her job now, is to take care of their souls when they cross over. Find them a place full of love. Wow, she's showing a whole bunch of them. Different colors, different whatever. Some that she knows, most she doesn't. She said. They need love too. So she says, so don't forget to love those strays. And she's not talking about cats. Not, or at least not just cats. Maybe you take in stray cats. Maybe you have a stray cat that you feed outside, or not sure where she's going with that, but she's talking more about people than she is. Don't forget the strays that nobody wants, but she's talking about people. Give them a little love too. You will be rewarded in the end. Now she's talking about a homeless shelter, but she's talking about one for people and not for animals. So, I don't know if you volunteered at a homeless shelter, thought about it, or she wants you to. She says it will be good for your soul because you have a lot of love energy that you could give to somebody who is rejected by others. Just be careful. So this is something you're supposed to do in this lifetime. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Maybe you were homeless. I don't know if you believe in past lives. I still have trouble wrapping my head around it. I believe in it, just have trouble wrapping my head around it. But maybe at some point in one of your past lives, you were homeless, and it's your turn to give back. Maybe somebody helped you in a past life when you were homeless, and now it's your turn to be on the other end and give. That's the way a lot of these past lives work. You get the next life, you get to flip it around and feel what the other side was. You could have been molested as a child in a past life. In this lifetime, you would be a child molester, or vice versa. And I'm not saying that about you at all. Just for some reason, she wanted me to explain that. She says you're beautiful inside and out. She says you kind of know it, but you don't know it down to the level that you need to know it. She keeps drawing my eyes to my hand cream that I use on my legs. Well, actually, we use this everywhere. This is kind of some super duper, really good stuff. I don't know why she keeps pulling my eyes over there to it. Whether you need to use some, whether you just got some, whether you got some sitting in front of you, whether you have some in your hand while you're watching this, I don't know. I don't know where she just keeps pulling my eyes to it. Excuse me. So she's showing you typing. And then you look up. And then you're typing. And then you look up. And you're expecting to see somebody standing there. And you're typing and really intent on it. And then you look up again. She keeps showing you, looking up. And if you think you hear her, you think you see her. You know, you can see them in your peripheral vision, and I include this as peripheral vision. I can be looking down and I can see somebody walk by, but when you see them out of the corner of your eye and you turn your head to look at them, and then there's nothing there, and then you type again, and then you go to look and there's nothing there, so you think it's your imagination. You're feeling her standing there. You're seeing her out of the corner of your eye. It's not your imagination. She is standing there. So when you feel that, validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to show up again if you want her to. But know that they do it to me too, even though I can look right at her. They still do it to me. I'll see them out of the corner of my eye, and I'll turn my head. They're gone. They're not gone. I can't explain why it works that way, but it does. And she's shown like pretty much here when she does that to you. And she reaches over and touches your hair. I have to go look at a picture of you and see what your hair looks like. They're like she's like messing with your hair. Okay. I don't know why she's showing this unless she's going to explain. It looks like a waterfall, a really tall waterfall. It looks kind of tropical. Of course, I've seen them in a zoo like this, like a tropical rainforest. I don't know if unless you've recently actually been somewhere where there's a tropical rainforest. Maybe you've been to the zoo lately, or maybe you've been somewhere. Maybe you watched a movie where they had one in it, and it doesn't have to be as tall and long and elaborate as she's showing. She could just be making it look bigger, so I'll know for sure that it's a waterfall. It could be a little one. I know that sounds vague. It sounds like we're making, she can show it any way she wants to as long as she gets the point across. So she's trying to validate something, I think. She says, do it again. So whatever this waterfall has to do with, she wants you to do it again. You need to do it again. Whatever the experience was with the waterfall, whether it was in real life or watching a movie, whatever you were doing at that time when you saw this waterfall, or going to the rainforest at the zoo, or I don't know what. Now she's showing me the zoo. Okay, my dear, she's ready to leave. She's talking about meatballs again. Meatballs, meatballs. I'm definitely going to have to make that. It's making me hungry for it. She's skipping. She's skipping as she's leaving. She's almost like floating on air. She's like bouncing all over the place. Big smile on her face. Happy. She says free. Lighthearted. Just almost over exaggerating the skipping in the floating, not floating around. It's kind of the wrong word to use. But she almost feels like she's going to be floating. She's so light and free, and no heavy burdens and no worries, and she's almost acting like a cartoon character doing it. She's enjoying it so much. Kind of like, yay. Okay, much love to you, my dear. She's leaving. Thank you for allowing me to be her voice. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.